Alright, today is day 8 of force fetch with Bexley. So we're still working outside, and just like every other training session, we'll start with something easy that's review. So today I think we'll just have her pick up something off the ground a fair distance away. So stay. Heel. Sit. Back. Yes, good girl. Good girl. Good. That's a good dog. Drop. Good. We started with a tough dummy, a big Dachshund dummy, and started off on a really good note. So I think we'll just do a quick review of a double mark retrieve now. Stay. This time I'm going to try first dummy first, just to give her a little more challenge. Okay. Back. Back. Good girl. So she tried to go for second dummy first, which is common. It's what they want to do. It's a natural instinct. So I tried to stop her. In the house, we've been blowing that halt whistle to get her to sit. She didn't really listen to it out here, but it did get her at least to quit going for the wrong retrieve. Stay. Ready? Back. Good girl. She got a little hung up on some scent there. Just a little excited, so she's not coming straight in, so we'll work on that. Good. Drop. Good dog. All right, let's redo that exercise to hopefully run it a little more cleanly. Stay. I've also swapped out a dummy. I rotated in a squirrel dummy. So we'll try to do first dummy first again. Here. Sit. No! Here. Heel. Sit. So again, tried to go for the wrong dummy first. We gave her a verbal correction. The whole point of this drill is teaching them to take the line that you send them on. Good. So that's why we need to correct her. Don't just let them get away with getting the dummy that they want to get. This is another place where we assert our dominance. Okay, no, you're going the direction I want. Back. Yes, good girl. You know why? She felt like she needed to go back to inspect the location of the first dummy. Don't chomp. Good. Good girl. Drop. Good. Let's try that one more time. We'll just do it a little closer. set the dummies out backwards this time, where I did the one on the left first. So I'm going to send her for the one on the left first. She needs to learn that it's where I want her to go. Not what she remembered doing on the last drill, and not whatever one she saw last. Okay, ready? Fetch. Good. Hi. Come here. Cute. So she went to the one I wanted first, but then she still feels this need to inspect the other one, which we don't want them to get in the habit of doing, because if you're hunting a lot, you want them to bring back that first bird, and then you can send them for the second retrieve afterwards. You don't want to risk sending them for two birds at once, because they might not be able to grab them both, especially if one is still alive. Sit. So they're more likely to be successful in completing the retrieves of live game if they will listen and get just one bird at a time, or one dummy at a time. Good girl! That's such a good dog. Don't chomp. She's getting a little mouthy, so I'm just tapping her on the chin to remind her that she needs to just hold that nice and tight. Good girl. And we're going to call that a day for that particular drill at the time. So she's not perfect on it yet, but she's getting better at certain aspects of it. But we want to move on, because if we keep beating this dead horse, she's going to get really bored, and boredom is one of the worst things that we can do to a dog in training. So now I want to introduce a new drill that we haven't done with this dog yet, but that's really useful for a lot of young dogs in training, and that is a ladder drill. And we're basically going to start out with, I'll just start with 2 dummies, and we'll just set them out like rungs of a ladder, you know, to get her out moving away from me. I guess there's really 2 main purposes for a ladder drill. The first is, again, just getting them to pick up the dummy and then immediately turn and come back to me, even though she knows there's other dummies out there. It's just so important for it to become muscle memory for them to just pick up anything and immediately turn to bring it back for you. The other reason we start doing ladder drills is it's a way to help get the dog more and more comfortable with working at further distances from the handler. Bexley, sit. Stay. Like, she'll go out, she'll see the first dummy, or as she's picking up the first dummy rather, she'll see the next dummy. She'll remember that it's there, so it'll be easier for her to move further and further away from me. A lot of times we do things in sets of 3 for dogs. They seem to understand that, but I like to start with sets of 2 on ladder drills. For whatever reason, a lot of times they might do really well on the first 2 dummies and then refuse the third. So since this is her first time ever, I'm only going to use 2 dummies for this ladder. So I've set those dummies in a straight line, and now I will send her for them. Back. Good girl! Good job! I think maybe our double mark training has come in a little handy there. Most dogs will try to go get that next dummy right away, but she was really good about just turning to deliver that one. Sit. Good. Ah. Good girl. Hi! Come on. So just be ready with your whistle here. We're giving her lots and lots of freedom as she moves out away from us. So we need to be ready to call her back. Good, but she did really well there on the send. You could see that she actually almost overran the dummy because she was just taking that line. And that's good. I mean, again, that helps from that double marked retrieve where she's just taking her line. So let's try it with 3 dummies now and see how she does. Stay. Stay. now we've got out 3 dummies, almost like 3 rungs to a ladder, just to build the distance. The last dummy's almost all the way to that cedar wood chip pile. So we'll see if we can get her to go that far. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Getting really distracted by some geese, and then she just winded the bird I have thawing. But as soon as she was locked in, I went ahead and sent her. Good girl. So she skipped the first dummy and went to the second. I'm okay with that. Yeah, I don't like that, shopping the pile a little bit there. The whole point of the drill, again, is to get them to go out further away from you and to bring stuff back. So if they don't pick up the first dummy, don't correct them for that. As long as she completes this retrieve and still picks up that dummy, that's okay. Bexley, come here. I think tomorrow we'll be introducing the e-collar to our work. This dog is familiar with an e-collar, but hasn't had it on for retrieve training. Don't chomp. But I think just to reinforce the come command, when there's just this much freedom, I need to start putting a collar on her so I can sharpen her up on coming back. All right, this is gonna be tricky now to go for that third dummy that's so far away when she's already got the middle dummy. Are you ready, Beck? Sit. I'm probably gonna have to help her here. Ready? Yeah, she didn't quite go far enough. And the wind is from the wrong direction, so she's not going to wind it. So I'm going to have to just resend her. I'll give her a second here to see if she can search for it and find it. But otherwise, I'm just going to call her back. I'll move up some distance so that we make it a little easier for her and help her be successful. But she's essentially going to be going on a blind retrieve at this point. Bexley, come here. Hey! Bexley, come on. Hi! Bexley. All right, a number of issues there. Good girl. Drop. You can see her recall there was terrible. She would not come back to me. So again, evidence that tomorrow we will need to be using the e-collar to enforce that come command. There's just so many distractions. She's never been over to that cement pad before. So that's okay, that's my fault. Should have had an e-collar on for today. And then I tried to send her for that dummy and we haven't done any blind retrieves yet. So she did not take me seriously that she had to go get something. And I had to get her pretty close to the dummy before she finally was able to find it when she cast out on the send. The good thing though, the positive, is that when she did wind the dummy, she did immediately pick it up without me giving a command. So she knows that if she finds something desirable, she needs to pick it up and bring it back. But again, we're just having some general obedience issues where she doesn't still think that she always needs to come when called. And it was just too great of a distance. So we'll try another ladder drill, but this time we'll do it much shorter. Stay. You know, if at first your dog does not succeed, make it easier for them so that they can be successful. Stay. She skips to her favorite dummy first. The dummy we had the most trouble with is now her favorite. Good girl. Good. Good job. Drop. That's okay though. Although that's not the main point of this drill, is for her to pick the last one up first. It allows us to teach her another lesson. And that is that even if she doesn't like other dummies or other game as much, she still has to retrieve all of them. So that's why I'm not going to get frustrated. I'm going to use this training opportunity to make her pick up all the dummies. Ready. Back. Good girl. Don't jump. Good. That's a good dog. Drop. Stay. Anytime we can enforce a little obedience, we should. So she broke early there. I'm going to remind her I'm in charge and make her sit. Back. And then she gets sent on my command. Yes, good girl. Good. Good. I think that's a good place to end with a ladder drill. So it didn't go as smoothly as I would have liked. But we have to remember not to get frustrated. All of these mistakes are the best learning opportunities. Where then we came back and she handled that one perfectly. Granted, it was easier, but still, I mean, we need to push the dogs to challenge them to make mistakes so that we can correct them so that they can learn. So that was great. So now we can get to what we're really excited about starting today, and that is an introduction to her first real game. Stay.